If you thought the presidential buzz was loud already, just wait. New Jersey's Republican Governor Chris Christie is celebrating a very big win this morning. He just persuaded the Democratic-controlled legislature in his state to pass historic pension and health care reform that he claims will save his state billions of dollars. Governor Chris Christie is with us exclusively. Governor, congratulations.
Thank you, Matt.
It's huge. I mean, this reform, according to your estimates and other estimates, will save your state something like $130 billion over the next 30 years. You said this about it, quote, "It's an example of bipartisanship that the president and the Congress can only aspire to." So is this something that could only happen at the state level?
No, it's not. But what you need to do is everybody needs to take risk. Everybody needs to bring skin in the game. And I have to tell you, I would not have been able to achieve this for New Jersey without the Senate President, Steve Sweeney, and the Speaker of the Assembly, Sheila Oliver. Everybody came together, put aside party.
But okay, so let's look at the bigger picture. You know exactly what's going on in Washington right now. So specifically, what can the president and what can members of Congress learn from what you've just accomplished in New Jersey?
Well, first, the president can show up. I mean, you can't negotiate through a secondary person. And with all due respect to the vice president, the president's got to show up. And I spent hours and hours and hours, Matt, with the Senate president and the speaker personally in my office over weeks negotiating.
But when you say the president has to show up, both sides need to be willing to really grab compromise. Eric Cantor, the House Majority Leader, just walked away from the table in the last day because he doesn't want to consider raising taxes. Was that the right move?
Well, listen, I think if that's what they needed to do to get the president in the room, then so be it.
Based on your experience, is that what Chris Christie would have done in the similar situation?
Well, no, I'm the governor, so I would have tried to get dragged into the room. But I didn't have to be dragged into the room, Matt. I knew this was my responsibility. And so did Steve Sweeney and Sheila Oliver know it was their responsibility. We didn't send seconds into the ring. We got into the ring ourselves. We battled it out. We came to compromise. We convinced our colleagues, and we did it.
It comes with a cost, okay? I mean, when you look at your situation in New Jersey right now, teachers don't like you. The public employees unions, they hate you right now. Your approval rating, 47% of the people in New Jersey disapprove right now of the job that Chris Christie is doing in the state. Simply go with the territory?
Yes. You earn political capital in order to spend it to achieve big things. And what makes what happened in New Jersey different than what's happened in other places is we did it in a bipartisan way. This is not just a Republican plan or a Democratic plan. It's a bipartisan plan where we compromised to put the people first, Matt. This is the taxpayer is going to be saved over $130 billion over the next 30 years. We needed to bring equity and shared sacrifice to this.
This took a long time. This was a year-long process. During that time, you became known as a guy who speaks in blunt terms, sometimes to a shocking level. I've always admired that from you. I really have. But I listened to a comment you made recently, and even I was surprised. This is an exchange you had with a voter over cuts in education. Let me play it, okay?
Schools, you send them to private schools, so I was wondering why you think it's fair to be cutting school funding to public schools.
First off, it's none of your business. I don't ask you where you send your kids to school. Don't bother me about where I send mine.
Is that a little blunt even for you?
No, it's not, because her point is completely ridiculous. I shouldn't be able to make decisions about budgetary issues that relate to public schools because my children go to private school? That was the question.
No.
And it's none of her business where I send my kids to school,
I
Matt.
thought it was a fair question. I'll tell you why. Because what she was asking you was, she clearly sends her kids to public schools.
Right.
And she's saying, Governor, I understand you send your kids to private schools, but is it possible, though, then you don't understand how these cuts are going to affect families like hers on a daily basis? Why isn't it a fair question?
It's nonsensical. I mean, to think that as the governor, you don't understand every cut that you make and the effects that it has on people is nonsensical. And the fact is, wherever I send my children to school, because my wife and I decide that we want our children to go to Catholic school because it helps to reinforce the values we're teaching, has nothing to do with it. I'm a product of the public schools. I went to the public schools in New Jersey my entire life. And so the idea to think that as governor, somehow that makes my ability less powerful because my children go in. Because let me tell you this, Matt, you know what my skin in the game is on the public schools? I pay $38,000 a year in property taxes, and my kids don't go to the school that uses most of that money. But that's my responsibility as a citizen to help to fund good, free public schools in my state. I'm not complaining about it. I'm not asking her for any money to send my kids to parochial school. So it's none of her business.
All right.
And when it's none of your business, it's none of your business, Matt.
Let me move
That's
on
it.
to something else. You had lunch recently or a meeting recently with Rudy Giuliani. What'd you guys talk about? Don't say it's none of your business.
No. You sure? Listen, what we talked about was his future, my future, and talked about
Did he say,
government.
are you running because I'm considering it, and if you're running, I don't think I can win in this area and I don't want to get involved?
No, he didn't say exactly that.
Did he say something similar to that?
Listen, we had a conversation, but he, again, asked me about what I was going to do, and I told him there's no different answer because I'm here at lunch with you than there is everything I've said publicly. I'm governor. I want to be governor. I'm not running for president.
So no. We haven't heard. I haven't heard no this often since I asked the homecoming queen to the prom.
Matt, I had the same experience, baby. I feel your pain.
So it is no. Even though it looks like there's some things coming up. You're going to speak in Iowa next month before a crucial straw poll. You recently met with some campaign donors out there. So is your mouth saying no? Is your heart still considering yes?
No, listen, I got invited by Governor Branstad to come out and speak about education reform, which is something I feel passionately about, and he's a friend, so I'm going to go out and do it. Some folks from Iowa wanted to come to New Jersey. Anybody who wants to come to Jersey, Matt, I'm in, babe. Let them come. And we met, and we talked about it, but I was very clear with them, too. I care about the future of our country, and I want us to have the best possible candidate in our party to run for president, but it's not going to be me.
Thank you for being here.
Good seeing you, Matt.
Governor Chris Christie. By the way, I want to tell you that he's going to be David's guest on Sunday morning on Meet the Press. Good luck with that.
Thank you.